Hi, my sister. I know I went on a few minutes early because I'm so excited you're here with me. Hi. Let me get my chat back up. How are you, Cora? I know it takes a while for you to answer me. There's a time delay. Oh, I should be looking at the camera. There's a time delay um, from when I say something to when you hear it, and then you gotta chat, then you gotta type. Hi, Cora. How are you? You doing good? And Evelyn might be coming on at 7 o'clock. I don't know. Cora, I gotta tell you, that was a funny conversation. So I'm sorry if anybody else comes in, but we're gonna be talking about my Aunt Ev, and if she's here, hi Aunt Ev. Wait, is it 7 o'clock? No, it's a little early, so I told her to go in on 7. I'm telling her, she has an iPad and she really doesn't know how to use it. And Gary gets, a little crazy, whatever. And I can understand, because when Megan is trying to teach me how to edit on this editing thing, Da Vinci, whatever, and I watch her, it's hysterical. I have no idea what she's doing. None. She tried to teach me. I took notes. Total horror show. So she has to do my editing when I do videos that need to be edited. There are 4 of us on. Okay, that's probably me, you, and 2 other people. I'm not sure who they are, but hello, whoever you are. Welcome to the show. Maybe it's Aunt Ev. Hi, Aunt Ev. If it's you, I'll keep saying hi, Aunt Ev, during the show. I'm on your big screen TV. Whoa. Maybe I should have brushed my teeth a couple of more times. What I wanted to tell you, so I said, Aunt Ev, maybe bring your iPad on Thanksgiving. So maybe Megan can set it up so you just have to hit buttons, like just a couple of buttons to get you on YouTube so you can watch it. And I said, she goes like, oh, okay, but like, why would I want to watch YouTube? I said, oh, you could learn how to bake a cake. She goes to me, why would I want to do that? I don't want to do anything anymore. And it was hysterically funny. Okay, so let's see. It's just you and me right now. That's fine, because I did go on a couple of minutes early, just so that I could talk to you. Hey, Ange, how are you? Happy Thanksgiving. So we'll just chat for a little bit. I don't know, a lot of people might be cooking for Thanksgiving, thankfully, and I've been keeping my fingers crossed. I've been wearing masks in stores. We're going to go to the restaurant in New York City that we always go to. Well, it's Manhattan. We just call it the city, but it gets confusing for people, but it's in Manhattan. I just can't wait. I'm so excited about it. It's been 2 years, even though we went in, I think, early spring or summer, I'm not sure, just to see my Aunt Ev and my cousin Gary, because for 2 years, because of the situation with the pandemic, we couldn't go. And then last year I didn't make the first year was the pandemic. The second year was because I made my reservations, or tried to, too late. So this is the first time we're getting back there for Thanksgiving. And Cora, I know, I'm so excited. Hi, Joanne. How you doing? How's shopping? I'm so glad you got back in time. They're going to have a vegetarian Wellington or something. So for the first time in all the years, poor Megan has suffered just eating the sides. She's going to have a vegetarian dish. So I am so excited about that. I can't wait to taste it, to see what it's like. I'm pooped from grocery shopping. I can imagine gets exhausting. Excuse me, it does get exhausting. Joanne, that's and Ange, that's my sister. My sister Cora is she's with me. I'm on her big screen TV. I know, doesn't it, Cora? I'm so glad that they finally have something for her. So I'm glad you're all here, having my coffee so that I can keep myself awake. I was just going to wait for a few more minutes to see if other people come in, because I did go on a little bit early. Let's see. All right, let me see what I can show you. All righty. I have what I call my serious crafts, And those are the crafts that I try to sell. Those are the crafts that take me hours and hours and hours to do. Try to be very meticulous about it. I just spent a day and a half making a coat for a figure that I have, and I'm not sure I like it. So I just ordered more fabric to see. Hey, Barbara, how you doing? Hi, Barbara. So I just ordered more fabric. I made the coat in felt, but now I'm making it in velvet, which was my original idea, but I wanted to try felt because felt is so much easier than velvet to work with when you're sewing and you're making these little outfits. Hey, Barbara, how was your day? I know you had a tiring day. But that's my sister, Barbara, Cora. That's my sister. She's in with us. Barbara had to go to the VA, Cora, and I started laughing. She just, I don't know, whatever her reason was, but I started laughing when we went to the VA. Oh my goodness, I remembered. And I don't even know if I can tell the story. Maybe I will while I'm working. So one of my, what I call not serious crafts, because sometimes I'll have a couple of things going simply because everything has to dry, blah, 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 that whole nonsense. And I don't like sitting here waiting for things to dry, and I don't like using my heat gun because if it's got to dry, let it dry. So I made this little guy. I had bought or purchased the wooden nutcracker body. It had a head on it from Hobby Lobby when I went there. And I have made smaller ones like this before. I think I made 2 or 3. I sold 2 of them. I don't know where the other one is. Maybe it's a Christmas decoration. But I really liked, oh, you're tired? Okay. I'm sorry, Barbara. Hey, Teresa. Teresa Cora's here. I'm sorry. I'm very excited that my sister's here with me. So I decided to just make one for myself. So I put I was talking about paint drying. I don't like using my heat gun to dry paint. I'd rather just let it dry by itself. But I did use my heat gun to get the head off because this is all made with glue guns, I think, or whatever, hot glue. And that melts. Hi, Eddie. Welcome home. Eddie's home too. So I just put my heat gun here and I pulled off the head, and then I did this. I painted him and made a little head. And his head seems a little too big for me, but I sort of like it because he looks antique. I didn't get his name yet. I don't have his name, Cor. We didn't, yeah, Eddie went upstairs. He just came in, went upstairs. But I'll tell him you said hello when he ever gets, if we see him. I didn't name him yet. Everybody's saying hello, Eddie. Hello from the restroom. Okay, so let's see. I think I love this. Everybody's saying hello. Okay, I'm going to flip the cameras around so I can start working. There's enough people here. Let's flip. Let me make sure I don't ruin this. Let's name him today. Okay, Cora, you know what? You start collecting names and we'll come up with the name. Whatever you want to name. Whenever, send in names for this guy. Can you see him? He has his little holly on his thing. I don't know which is clearer. So, okay, let me flip. You guys can all figure out names. You can put them in there, and then Corey, you pick it. Okay? Everybody said hello to you, by the way. Hello from Eddie. Settings. Let's see. Just mirror my camera. No, I don't want my camera mirrored. Okay, sorry if I got you sick there with the flipping. Okay, let's come down a little bit. Let's straighten you out, and let's get my chat back up. Hey, Ashley. Hi, sweetie. Ashley is Barbara's daughter. Okay, so Cora, you need to come back to New York. Yeah, we'd love to see her too, Teresa. But she's seeing me on her big screen TV. Well, now she's seeing my desk. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to take my glasses, lift my glasses up. So sometimes it's hard for me to see chat because I can't see very well, but I like not working with my glasses on. Hey, Shannon, that's Barbara's other daughter. Hi, Shannon, how you doing? That's my sister Cora, just so everybody knows. Okay, let's start with this. To me, if I'm going to set a table, and I'm going to set a table really nice, napkin holders is not like one of the top 10 things on the list, but ever since I started decorating for Halloween, and I do have a little short video on my Halloween table on my channel, I really like to include napkin rings. I think they look elegant. Now, I've mentioned it before quite a few times that I watch a show called From the Mind of Christine McConnell. And I'm also a Patreon of her. She's the only one I'm a Patreon of. And I said this before. I'm sorry for the people who have never heard it. I'm going to repeat this. Oh, wait a minute. I should do one more thing before I start. Hi, Ann Ev. If you got in, I know you can't write, but hi, Ann Ev. Just want to keep saying hello to my Aunt Ev in case she's watching. She made a skeleton basket. She took a skeleton and she cut it up and put it, she made a basket. Following her video, I even, well, I told her after I made it that I made one. And anytime I posted the picture, I gave her credit for the idea. But I had some bones left. So I had some spine pieces left of the skeleton. So my napkin holders for Halloween, and I don't know if people would know this if they're sitting at the table, is pieces of the spine because oh, wait a minute, let me get the lights on. Lights. I don't know if she can see you, Barbara, but people are saying hello to you, Aunt Ev, in the chat. I love the spine pieces. I think they're very fascinating and very interesting from an artistic. I'm not into gore for Halloween. I don't like gore. I don't like bloody stuff. There's enough bloody, ugly gore. I like pretty, elegant, and if you want to call it gothic elegance like I do, that's fine. I thought the spines were really pretty pieces. So what I did was I cut the part off where your spinal cord goes through, and I bought these black rings, and I have all sorts of links down. I don't know, what is that? The message box, the comments box, whatever, down below the video, that either now or afterwards, you could see all the links. I try to put links for products that I used. And I don't remember exactly where I got these black ones, but I did put a link from Amazon that had similar black ones in there. Now, to get these on here is really hard to glue on just this little piece of metal. So I used epoxy sculpt. And this is a two-part epoxy, A and B. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. You mix it together. It's pretty sticky. I'll show you what this is. B. Now this happens to be white. B is getting a little yellow in there. And part A. I used to be able to get this stuff in black, but now I can't. I don't know why I can't find it in black. Or maybe I haven't looked. I don't know if maybe she'd call you. I have no idea, Cora. Maybe she would call you to say, I'm here. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. And once it hardens, it's like a rock. So what I did was, I think I used some kind of temporary glue. Maybe I even used hot glue, which you know that I don't use a lot of, just to get this ring on here. And then I covered it in the epoxy sculpt. And once that dried, this thing is not coming off. It's as hard as a rock. And you can paint it. I painted it, of course, black, and I used my waxes. So again, I like using it because I think it looks, Megan is the one who does my napkins for me. Of course, you can tell I'm not great at napkins, but it looks really pretty on your napkin. Okay, so that was number one that I wanted to show you. I have to move things all around here. Here's some wire rings. Now, I got the wrong size. I got the 1 5/8 inch round wire rings. It's $6.99. This is from Hobby Lobby. They also had the 1 1/4 inch. 1 1/4 inches is a perfect circle to use as a napkin ring, unless you are, like I was recently looking on YouTube on Thanksgiving tables, and some of these people are putting, which almost looks like really pretty dishcloths in for napkins. So I would think because of the thickness of the fabric, you would need a wider ring. But I got these by mistake, which is fine. I can use them for something. But if you wanted to use the wire rings, there's a lot of things that you could do to make them look, what would you say? Country or elegant. And I took some stuff here. I guess I didn't take, I think I took it all. Hold on. I got it. There's so much stuff around me because I was trying to remember to bring all of these things over. You can wrap them in leather if you want to, and the leather gives you a better surface to glue on. So if you start just by gluing a piece down and just wrapping it and gluing every so often, need to have the right size, my sister. I know. If you have big napkins, you're going to need big napkin holders. Still have a cough, but a lot better. I'm glad, Ashley. I'm glad you're feeling better. You can wrap these, as I was saying, in leather. If you want to do, you could wrap it in twine. A lot of Thanksgiving tables, you can go both ways. I mean, if it's a dressy table and you have something a little bit more, I don't know what you would call casual or country, I think it would look really pretty. Now, of course, you could just take a berry, whatever you call it, sprig from any of the stores and just use that and wrap it around. But if you wanted to do something really interesting and really different, I'm the younger one, but look like the older one, Barbara, if that makes sense. Hi, Maribel. I'm sorry, you're writing in Spanish, and I don't know Spanish. But I think it's hello coming from Chile. I think that's what it is. Okay. Hola. So if you have like a more earthy, casual table, you could wrap it in twine. You could wrap it in leather. You can wrap these in really pretty little gold. Now, this is very thin ribbon. You'd be wrapping for quite some time. You'll be wrapping for a really long time. But if you had a little thicker ribbon, you could wrap these in ribbon, and they'd be very pretty because they'd be unusual. Oh, Joanne, I'm sorry. I don't know. You didn't, oh, I got to share the pictures. Well, I called my sister's house the resort. Thank you, Cora. I call my sister's house the resort because I have some pictures of it where when I was there out there a couple of years ago, when my daughter went to when Megs went to Colorado, I have pictures of these candle lanterns that she had on her table looking out over and you could see the ocean because the Pacific Ocean. So I called her house the resort. So yes. It's 70 degrees at the resort. Yeah, it's about 40 here in Kings Park. Okay, so now we're going to start working. All right. Okay. I like using my molds you buy these molds, you invest money in your molds. A mold like this, and this is the Fleur de Lis one, it costs about $13 to $15 from Amazon. And I like using them for other things. I am not a mixed media artist, and I know if you watch anything on YouTube, you see all these people creating these lovely mixed media pictures and putting all sorts of mold. I am not one of those, but in that case, because of that, I should say, I like using my molds for other things. Now here, I just molded something, this one, twice, and I put it back to back. And as it was drying, I put in half of a paper clip, and I had to put glue between the two pieces, and it dried. And now you can hang this either on your wall, you can hang it on your Christmas tree, you could do whatever you want with it. But I do like using my molds for more. It's an investment. I like to do stuff that you use them for more than just one thing. This other mold, now this has nothing to do with napkin rings. I'll get that in a second. But this is another one of what I would call my easy crafts that I did. I had this mold, and I happen to love this mold because this looks like a finial on top of a fence by the psych center where I live. And I always wanted to take one off, but it's iron fence, so there would be no way I can get it off. And if I tried to, I'd probably get arrested. So when I saw this mold, I bought it. And it's an individual mold, but I took it, I put it on a stick. This is a piece of something that was a holder for one of those masks that we had when we were all buying those paper masks. And this is the bottom part of a lamp that you put on the ceiling. That lamp came down, and this is the thing that the screw went through when you put the knob on it to hold the lamp. So when people are taking things apart in my house, I always look to see if there's something that I can use it for. Hey, Rory. It's not the same mold, that I don't think. No, maybe it is. Rory, hi. Rory, Cora, it was because she was here last week. And if Kiki is with you, hi, Kiki. Rory, my sister's here. Cora's here. It's my sister. Just wanted to tell you. All right. So this is another one of what I call my easy crafts. This is just something when I'm involved and something is really driving me crazy, I'll stop and try to do something else and use up pieces that I have. Okay. I don't know. I think I did put the exotic elderly. That's upstairs in my room. That's upstairs in my room, so I'm not going to run up to get it. I showed everybody. All right, guys, you got to start listing names for the mouse. My sister's going to decide what name we're going to use. Okay. So I'll put that there. Okay. We're going to start. First thing you need to make one of my napkin rings. Let me put this on the side, and okay. This is what I wanted to do. Sorry. I'm going to go Sergeant Pepper. Ooh, you like that. I'm going to go a little bit out of order, and I'll explain why. Theodore, Sergeant Pepper, Sergeant Theodore. Okay. I'm going a little bit out of order because I am going to use gold leaf on this particular one. It's not real gold. And Barbara, we have been talking about that Happy Bird glitter nest. I think the gold flakes that she was using is just torn pieces of the gold leaf I have. This has no real gold in it. Okay, I couldn't afford it if it did. Now, the Happy Bird's glitter nest on the ornament that she was making, she used one of the Mod Podges. I think it was a Mod Podge gloss of some kind. I don't remember exactly what it was. But when I originally started years and years ago with gold leaf, it was sold by this Mona Lisa, and it says Speedball Metal Leaf. This is really like a tacky glue, and it gets all over the place. So I'm hoping I don't get it on my hands. That's why this one that I made, this napkin ring, I have it on this stick, which happens to be from tin foil. It fits just perfectly on here. I already put a coat of this stuff on here, but I always like to put 2 coats, and you have to wait for it to dry and get tacky before you can put the leaf on. So that's why I'm doing this a little bit backwards, because I want to show you how I'm putting the adhesive on, and then we'll do the gold leaf after I make another one that'll be exactly like this. Okay, so you just want to put, is Telly here? Hi, Telly. Oh, she has the flu. Oh, Mike, you're here. Hi, Mike. How are you? Did your son get home okay? Let's move you over. Oliver. Corey, are you keeping all of this? Gus for the mouse. Are you keeping all these names? All right, so you take this adhesive and you try to put what is on my paintbrush? Hold on. Hey, Rory, look what I'm using as the rag. I'm not even going to say. These are all good names. You put a light coat of the adhesive all over the place that you want the leaf to go. You don't have to put a heavy coat. A heavy coat just takes longer for it to dry. And this takes about, I don't know, 15 minutes, a half an hour. You know, I'm not really good with time, but I figured it would give me enough time to do other things. Charles, look at that. Charles Stewart. Corey, you keeping record? Telly's giving the orders from the bedroom. Well, hopefully, is it like one of those? Well, we hope it's a 24-hour flu if it has to be the flu, so it doesn't stay with you for weeks, for a week. Because usually the flu makes you feel a little on the yucky, nauseous side, doesn't it? I don't know. Now we can get the inside at a later date, or we can just paint it. But right now I just wanted to cover the whole top with this so that it dries or gets tacky while I'm working on how to make that. Put your brush, clean your brush off right away. I got this on my hands earlier and it takes a while. You got to go to the sink and scrub it off. Flu type A. I don't know what type A is, but I'm hoping that it's the least problematic of the flus. Okay. This is one of those little Teflon pages that nothing sticks to it. All right. I was using, for all of these right here that you see, except for this little piece, I was using the toilet paper rolls again, but I didn't have any, so we had to go to plan B. So this is my cereal box. This was Honey Nut Cheerios. It doesn't matter. You don't have to use cereal box. You can use any of those boxes that you get food products in. They're very lightweight. Lightweight cardboard. Now they call it chipboard. I don't know. 4 to 5 days for the kids. I'm on day 3. So then you should be okay by Thanksgiving. Thanks goodness. if you don't have one of those nice slicing cutting machines, you have to do it the old-fashioned way. And the old-fashioned way is you just take your ruler and draw a straight line, and then you measure up from that straight line. Now this because I used it for some other ones, I know is going to be straight, or at least what I cut out will be straight. Now, my napkin rings, you can make them any size that you want, but I'm starting off with 1/4 of an inch wide here. And I just take my ruler, I line it up with the edge, and I mark off 1/4 inch here. And 1/4 inch here. Now, a lot of you are paper crafters, so you have those machines that you can just go zit, zit, and it cuts it. But we don't have one of those machines. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. Is it 1/4? Wait a minute. I'm saying, hold on, hold the phone. Yeah, it is 1/2 inch. It's 1/2 inch. I'm sorry, it's 1/2 inch. Was I saying 1/4 of an inch? I said 1/4 of an inch. 1/2 inch, change that. 1/2 inch wide. Get out the big guys. Be careful of my finger. I don't want to cut my fingers again. Okay. Line up your dots. Okay, my dot is here and the other dot's over there. And you cut. And hopefully I got through. And of course I didn't. So much easier if I stood up to do this. And yes, I think this blade is sharp. Ah. Two-week, oh, June has been using paper. I know. I'm really into toilet paper rolls. I'm really into toilet paper rolls. I don't know why. It just seems like a waste. I had a whole bunch of them, and also Bounty rolls like 6 months or so ago. And I'm like, I can't think of what to use for them, so I tossed them all out. Okay. Rory, I don't have a machine that cuts like that, simply because even though these past 2 lives that you've been on, I've been working with paper, I don't usually work with paper crafts. This is, I mean, this is going to be as much paper crafting as I'm doing on this one, but I don't usually ever work with paper. Everybody knows, because I was the one out of our group. Everybody makes, like Barbara makes these beautiful mini albums. Telly makes beautiful things with paper, and Christine, who's not here tonight, also. But I don't ever use paper crafts. I don't. I'm more of a needle felt mice, or making dolls and things like that. I mean, if I need to use paper, I know how to do it the old-fashioned way, so it doesn't bother me. But okay, so we have oh, have a gummy. That's because she ordered them. I didn't hoard toilet paper. We discussed that. You know how I was annoyed at people who did that. Okay, so it's 1/2 inch wide and it's 5 inches long. I never use this part of my ruler because I don't know if it's exact. So I always go to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a little mark. From that mark, we can go down to the 10. Take in. If it's not, gosh, I can't even see my marks. It's not necessary. Why is this thing feeling funny? Hold on. No, that was the right way. As long as it's close to being at a 90, 90 degrees and straight, I'll live with that. Where'd my mark go? Can't even see my mark. Okay. All right. So right now I have two. I'm going to need this. I'm not going to need this or this. Okay. I have two. I can make two napkin rings. Now, what you want is, as I was saying before, you want to make a quarter of an inch and a quarter diameter. So I'm just maneuvering this so that it bends, the cardboard, it bends a little bit easier. And you measure it. It's got to go in a little bit more. That's good. That's an inch and a quarter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line here and a line on the inside. Okay, on the inside. I'm going to take my fabric tack. I'm staying away from those CBD stuff. Yeah, no, I'm going to stay away from them. Where's my other line? Okay. Now I'm using, wait a minute, what am I doing here? Okay, I'm using fabric tack and I'm putting it on up to the line. Hopefully I'm doing this right. Yep, and then on this side too. So I'm putting fabric tack on both pieces. Okay, and now I know where to attach these together to make it 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch diameter. No THC in them, thank goodness, because the drops I had a small amount of THC and I overdid it one day and that wasn't good. All I can say is I am very grateful, has to go in the grateful hat, that I was home. Just a little side story. I was going to make Mike a mod, a moderator. Oh, that was funny. Okay. I don't know if he's still here because he has some things to do. Maybe he's on and off, but that would have been really funny if I made him a moderator. I do. Oh, the no fat ones? Oh, Joanne, that's going to be iffy. Is there any store near you that you can go back to? Eagle brand. I like the Eagle brand. His name is Sergeant Cogs. Very good. Okay, we got the name for the mouse. Sergeant Cogs. Right? Cogs? Sergeant Cogs it is. Here is the mouse that needed a name. Well, I can't. There we go. Just pull it down a little bit so I don't get everybody sick. Okay. So now that you made your ring, Rory, no, I was really spacey. Thank goodness Megan was home. Okay. And this is the part that gets a little yucky. Where are my pliers? And where is the glue? This is StarBond thin CA glue, super glue, crazy glue. It is very thin, it's water thin, and it is very sticky. As we all know, super glue is the one thing that it will stick is your fingers. So, a couple of suggestions. Whenever I'm using this, I always have my acetone, which is nail polish remover, handy so I can unstick things. Okay. She thought she was having a stroke. Oh, okay, Joanne, you're mixing it with cream cheese. It probably won't. Why is I'm only allowed? You took 2 one day? Okay, yeah. Telly, I gotta tell you, yeah. Okay, so when you're using this stuff, have your acetone nearby and use pliers. Let me get this in screen. Also, and this is important, don't be don't be leaning over it. This stuff stinks and it's really not good for you. Okay? Be very cautious on where you put everything. And the minute you feel like a little wet on your hand, clean it out. Clean it off on a paper towel quickly. I have been stuck to things. Hopefully, I will do this one neatly. What did my sister? Oh, look at you. All of us named him. Thank you, Cor. That's great. Sergeant Cogs. Oh, by the way, is William home? I wanted to tell him he looks marvelous if he's home. And once again, hi, Aunt Ev, if you're here. I don't know if you're here or not, but if you are, hi, Aunt Ev. Cora's here too. Not yet. Okay. Now, here we go. This was a tip from Heather Tracy. We've mentioned it before. Where you're pouring this very loose, thin StarBond on cardboard. It gets it stiff, almost like it's wood. Now, I have looked online, and I have looked online for wood thin napkin rings. And see, it's already getting in my eyeballs. Okay. And the only thing that I could find were rings, like macrame rings, like the metal rings that I got, and they were thicker. I don't want rings. I want something flat that I can glue things to. The rings are hard to glue to. It's too much of a problem. Why am I feeling like I got it on that finger? You put it on the outside and you put it on the inside. One of the reasons why I sanded this was to try to get through the gloss paper. Oh, that was another thing I was supposed to tell you. Sand the glossy side just so that you you get off some of the gloss so the glue can go in. Do not touch your tips of your pliers. Just put them on the side. Grab this, put it in here. Try not to touch anything and put that away. And now you have to let this dry for a little bit, okay, before you go and touch it. Now you see how flimsy this is here? Okay. This is one that I already did in advance. I didn't sand this as well as I did this one, but it is a lot stronger. If I would put this in a circle and hold it, look at how weak this is. And this with the same amount of pressure, and that's just what the StarBond thin put on it. Okay? But again, be careful. If you want kids to help you, you do this part of the craft and get them out of the room so they don't, or get them away so they don't smell this. Okay? I'm just going to take this and put it over on this, way on the side. Let's get this off the table so that I don't accidentally put my hands in it. So that's going way over there. Okay, this is still drying. Well, Oh, dry. Stay there. Okay. So now you have your ring. Let's move all of these things out of the way. You have a ring. Okay. Now, my paper clay is in the refrigerator. I'll be right back. My fridge is right here. Okay, so let's go through your options. And some of the options are here. I did this one using this mold. And I made 2 pieces of this and 2 pieces of this and just put them upside down on a thicker. This is not 1/4 of an inch. This is much wider. You have to decide when you use a mold that you have what size you want to make the width. I painted this, of course, black gesso first, and then I painted it a reddish, a dark red. Not a maroon, a dark red. And one of the reasons why was originally I was going to use this one to gold leaf, but I figured there was too many little grooves and stuff like that, and it would take me a while to get that leafed. So I just took some of this paint, Lumineer, and this is in Sunset Gold, and this is a very thin paint, but once you can build up layer upon layer, and I just took my paintbrush and washed it over. And I have to tell you, if I can find my napkin, they're very pretty on your napkins as a napkin ring. Okay, so that's what I did with this one. This one also using this mold right here is, wait a minute, I'm sorry, I don't, bless your heart, not many people can say that, wait. I've also not been, our dad named us both, never been high in my life. Okay, well, I can't say, I also never been drunk. Well, I can't say no to either one of, I can't say, well, yeah, I've been both. Okay, so this is one of the bigger pieces, and this one, I think, I don't even know what, I think I painted this one. Again, I put black on it. No, wait, I don't even know. I think I gessoed this, and then I used this paint and this other one. This happens to be Sunset Gold. I also have it in bright gold, and after I painted it in Sunset Gold, I put some of this on. It's 2 different color golds, you can see, while it was still wet, and just smushed it. And then what I did was I took this brown Folk Art Home Decor Antique Wax. It's brown. If you don't have this and you have raw umber is, for me, this is just my personal opinion, raw umber is a better color than burnt umber. Burnt umber is a reddish brown. Raw umber is more like a greenish brown, and this is closer to raw umber than it is to burnt umber. Okay, and I think it's a better color when you're trying to antique something, or if you're trying to make it look a little old. Well, antiquing is making it look old. And I'll tell you something else about raw umber. After I make flesh in polymer clay, if I'm making a person's face and then I use like I've told you with polymer clay, once you bake it, there's sort of like a layer, an oily, it doesn't feel it, but there is, because it makes paint beads up on it. And so I take my acetone and I quickly brush everything off. If it's flesh toned, I put a layer of either that or basically the raw umber, a wash. I put it all over it, and then I wipe it off, and it gives the flesh tone, whatever clay you're using, such a natural, more natural tone to it. It also goes in the cracks, and it just gives it more depth. Okay. Take the first note out. Can't type tonight. Beautiful June. Thank you. You like this one, Cora? Say that again. Which one do I say again? That I was high and drunk? Or this wax is Folk Art Home Decor Antique Wax. Now, which one is better? Oh, I can't discuss that now. I won't discuss that. But the next time we're on a chat, Barbara, I'll tell you which one I like the best. Okay. It's antique wax. It's number 34171. So it's very watery, very watery. And I don't even know if I'm using it according to the instructions. I just, yeah, clean, well, wait a minute. Put a thin layer and then remove excess, leaving antique wax in the crevices. Was this the one you liked, Cora? Yes? Okay, so this is really pretty too on the napkin. Oh, were you talking, Barbara? Were you talking which one of these was better? I thought you were thought you were talking about which one I liked, being drunk or high better. Which one of these is better? It just depends. I happen to like this one, and I like having the wax, and I also use I think it's called cinnamon brown folk art paint that I like to do when everything is wet. I like to smush all the colors. It gives it a very, I don't know if you would call it grungy, but just like an antique look to me. Oh, you once, yes, I once told you, so we're not going to, I don't know what anybody's talking about, but I am not going any further than that on this conversation. My Aunt Ev, hi Aunt Ev, she might be watching. Okay, so this is also very nice, okay? So that's that one. So if you make one of these, and I have it right here, and we are going to address cracks. Can you see it? Cracks in your paper clay in a minute. But once you get it out of the mold, and I have my little garbanzo beans. It's hearing everything. Yeah, I know. My little organic garbanzo beans, very good, Trader Joe's. You take your mold, and I tell you, it's stuck on here for a while, and I could even leave it like this and it was sticking. So you just leave it on there. And if you could do it standing up, you could put a couple of them around or just get a lot of cans of beans. And you let your molds dry so it gives it the curve so that when you do your napkin ring, it fits. Okay? You hate garbanzo, Cora, chickpeas? You hate chickpeas? June is going to get in trouble. I know. I'm already down the toilet. You hate chickpeas? You got to taste how Megan makes them. She roasts them with olive oil. I don't know if she uses garlic. I'm missing all because I'm cooking while I'm watching. Sorry, Teresa. What are you up to? What part of the cooking? She roasts them and then she puts in olive oil and salt and pepper. Oh, you still yucking? You're still yucking? Okay. You don't. Do you like hummus? I love hummus. Hummus is made with chickpeas. Okay. So you use your chickpeas or your black beans or your kidney beans. Just go to Trader Joe's, get some cans and do that to it. Okay. And that's how you get the round curved shape. Time for supper. Thanks for coming in, Ange. Have a delicious dinner. Teresa, in case you didn't see it, Rory says hello because I know you're busy doing your cooking. Okay, so let's get these things off here. Now, so I'm not going to be using this mold, but I put the link down below for this mold in case you wanted to get this mold. It's from Amazon. I didn't put the link for this mold. That's how good I am because I just wasn't thinking there was so much to get together. But I use this because I like this one out of all of them. And if you just go on Amazon and put in Prima molds or redesign with Prima molds, you'll find all of them. Oh, you said hi before? Oh, okay. I love hummus. So I use this particular one. I don't even remember. And I wrapped it around. And I just did this one earlier today. And you're going to see that with the paper clay. Now, I also put some links down below for other kinds of clay that I've been watching YouTubers use I'm not using the 2-part epoxy resin because I was finding it very hard to glue it so that it kept its shape, as in my grateful hat that I did last week. So I just went back to the paper clay that I was using. I also put, oh, hummus has garlic. Yeah, that's true too, Cora. Unless you make it yourself, I can make your hummus without garlic. What was I going to, where was I? I put a link to in Amazon. I'm not an affiliate, but I put a link to the paper clay. Now, if you're going online and you're trying to find a better price, do me a favor, okay? Seriously, make sure that your better price is for 16 ounces. The 16 ounce and the 8 ounce looks exactly the same online. And you might think you're getting a better deal, but you're getting 8 ounces instead of 16. If you're going to be making any of these napkin rings, I don't think you need more than 8 ounces, but if you're buying molds, you can find lots of very pretty things to do with molds. I also linked some projects that I did using the molds in different ways down below underneath. I don't know, what do you call that? The description box? I don't know, whatever, but it's down below. So that one is this, and I happen to love this one too, but I'm leaving this up here because I want to show you how I fix a crack. This one I just made right before the live, and this one, where did that mold go? Hold on, we'll find the mold. Oh, it happens to be on the one with the Fleur de Lis, whatever you want to call it. It's this piece here, and I cut it to fit. And it's got to dry. It's probably going to crack a few thousand times. But if you like something really chunky, this is going to be really pretty. Now, after this all dries, and this is something else that I wanted to tell you, and you'll see that I started to do it here. You can take your nippers and start to cut. If you don't want to see the cardboard, you can start to cut away on this and just get rid of the cardboard if you don't want to see it. Once you treat your your cardboard or your toilet paper rolls with this thin CA glue, it becomes, like I said before, very stiff. So it's very hard to get in there with scissors and cut it. Benny just got home. Oh, yeah. Benny, all right. Was he out? Okay. I thought he was home. Maybe I'm just coming in the middle. Okay. So you can use your nippers, these things, to cut around if you don't like seeing any of the cardboard. The other thing that you can do before you make it, now this would be hard because it goes from thick to thin, but like this piece, before I made it, I could have tried to measure the smallest part, which I think is from here to here, and I would have saw, whatever, that it's about 1 1/8 inches. I could have made 1 inch and 3/16, but I could have made it, sorry, I was doing this, and I could have made it 1 inch and 1/8, and you wouldn't have seen as much cardboard. Hey, Ben, how you doing, Benny? Okay. The mess that is underneath my, okay, I'm going to use this. So if you want to use, like I said before, a little bit of a chunky one, you could do that. Now, this is going to look very pretty once it's all painted, and it's a statement. And I don't know if I said this. You know what, Joanne? I'm not sure if I found, I'm going to look. I think I've seen them. I'm not, buy the jewelry. I'm not sure if I bought it at there or on Amazon. So I'm going to check my Amazon orders. And if I bought it through Amazon, I'll send you the link. Okay. Otherwise, you could probably find these. And I love this little pair. I love because it's very sharp, and I cut metal with it. So I cut my aluminum armature wire with these, the real thicker one, and it goes through pretty easily. And I really like having these right over there in my, my little supply box that is supplies that I use all the time. Okay, I'm going to be using this one, the Thornton Medallion. But before I do, I also want to show you another mold. Look at all the beautiful things that I could do with this, with all these different things. This one reminds me more of Christmas because it looks like mistletoe to me. This is flowers, springtime. I love this. I love this mold. I use this particular one quite a bit on another project that you should be seeing soon. All right. But yes, in case I didn't answer that question properly, Joanne, I think that's where you would find them. I don't remember finding them in Michael's. I didn't look for them in Hobby Lobby because usually I go to Michael's. I didn't look for them in Hobby Lobby. So I think I got them off of Amazon. Be right back. Okay, Barbara. Okay. Now, these are wet, so they have to dry, but I'm going to fix this. I am going to use, this is the Thornton Medallion in the link below, and I love these scrolls. I've used them quite a bit. I think everybody has pretty much seen people use, ouch, let me just get a little bit more comfortable, put things away. Have been putting paper clay in molds. The first thing you do is you take some cornstarch or baby powder. Now these already have it, but you just dip a paintbrush, a nice soft brush in there, and make sure you put it all over the mold. This helps in getting the paper clay out and in one piece. I put my cornstarch in a little takeout thing, which I can't seem to be able to close all of a sudden. Why is this not closing? There you go. And I put some cornstarch in here, and I think I've had it in here for years because I also use cornstarch when I'm doing things with polymer clay, but that's another whole topic of conversation. Okay, so you get out a chunk of paper clay. Aren't they beautiful, Joanne? They are beautiful. You get out a chunk of paper clay. You've all seen this if you watch YouTube videos. Take the paper clay. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Wait a second. Hold the presses. Teresa, watch the screen. And Cora, look at this. I got this. Look at this stuff. And anybody else, I'm sorry, I didn't want to just single them out. I got this beautiful stuff on Amazon. I also put the link down below. It's called, I just put it under Bling. I don't know why I bought this, except that I happen to love it. Look how pretty this would be. Now you would cut this smaller, so it's only the width of this, and I think the width of this is a quarter of an inch. And just wrap that around and have it, now you're not going to see it like that, but have it hang. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, that would be something on a napkin. How beautiful would that be when your table is really dressy? So and everybody, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to just say Cora and Teresa of everybody else, but I knew I had to say something and I forgot, but I just think this bling would be beautiful. The link that I gave down below, once again, to Amazon has all different styles of this. Now, this happens to be AB crystals, which is the ones that have, they're like diamonds, but they have the colors on it, the pinks, the yellows, they flash different colors, and and the background is gold. And I don't know if they have it in silver, but I'm sure that once you look at anything in Amazon, if you just scroll down, they'll show you all different types of things that you can get. Okay. So I'll put that on the side. Okay, put it on the floor. I tossed it. All right, let's get back to paper molding. All righty, so you're pushing your paper clay into the mold. Get it in there, and it's going to fight you a little bit because the cornstarch is sort of like making it not stick into the mold. And then you just rub your thumb. If it comes out too much from one area, just move some over and put it in the hole, put it in the, whatever, the crevice, the mold, that's the right word. And work your way down. Okay. Take all your scraps, keep them. I could take off a little bit more. You see, it keeps wanting to flip up off of the mold because of the cornstarch. So hopefully when I do want to take this out, it works. Now these light gray molds are very flimsy. They're floppy. And so most of the time molds come out of these easier than the dark gray molds. The dark gray molds are firmer. They're firmer. So sometimes it's harder to get stuff out of them. It's easier to put stuff in, but it's harder to get out. Here, it's the opposite. It's harder to get in, but it's easier to get out. You can't win. I always use my ruler. Some people have tools. It's just an unnecessary tool for me anyway, because I don't do this that often. And I'm just scraping, gently scraping the top of it. Oh, okay, good. Let me know when he comes home. Don't tell him I'm on. I want to tell him how marvelous he looks. So we went through the restaurant we're going, post their menu online. Oh, I don't think I told you. Or Teresa didn't hear it, and some of the other people, Cora did, because she was here. Like, I went on a little bit early and talked to him. Talked to her. Ooh, we're getting lightheaded again? Talk to her. Sorry, Cora. The restaurant finally, it's a set menu. You can pick a whole bunch of appetizers, and then you pick your main course, and they give you a ton of sides. And you can get more sides, extra sides. It's mashed potatoes, yams, all sorts of stuff that you can get on the side. But they have a vegetable Wellington now, which is perfect for Megan. I'm hoping it's really good. Usually Keen's is good. And they called me today to confirm the reservation. It was like they wanted to see if we could go upstairs. So I said, well, I have a 90-year-old aunt. Hi, Mary. How are you? Oh, Barbara, you're back. Good. That was quick. So we were going to, now my Aunt Evelyn can make it up the stairs. I'd probably be huffing and puffing, but she can make it up the stairs. And again, Aunt Evelyn, if you're here, hi. She's going to think I'm an absolute lunatic. Okay. Yes, Shannon, it absolutely is. Well, they wouldn't take my reservation because they were all booked. And who knew in the middle of October, the year after COVID, they would all be booked. So hi Sandra, welcome. I haven't, what was I saying? Well, we went earlier in the spring or the summer just to go with my cousin and my aunt because I really miss going there. And I did it in the summer. I said, can I make a reservation for Thanksgiving right now? It was months away and they said, yes. So I said, okay, put it on, definite. And then I called in September just to make sure that that they had it, because I was not going to miss. I've been walking around with masks. I really just don't want to. I don't want to be sick. Hopefully, and if it snows, that's okay. The Long Island Railroad is taking us in, so we'll get in there. Hey, Vic, how are you? I'm glad you made it in. Shirley, if you're here, hello to you too. Shirley doesn't usually, I know she's usually sometimes in the background. She doesn't come in, but to chat. But Shirley, hi. Take your time with this. It takes a while to get all the excess off to make it as even as possible. And you should do it like at a slant, like you're pushing it in, but you're trying to slide it off. At the same time, it's sort of like spackling a wall when you're trying to put finishing on it. You doing okay? Excellent, Vic. Are you cooking, Victoria, or are you going somewhere for Thanksgiving? I know what the majority of the people here are doing. I don't know what Sandra's doing. I don't know what Vic's doing. I think I know what everybody else is doing for Thanksgiving. I'm going to a restaurant that I can't wait to go to. It's going to cost me a bloody fortune, but you know what? Memories cost sometimes. And you just have to make allowances for it. Okay. I've been going to this. Ooh, the back of my paper clay opened up. That's unusual. Okay. If you're not using your paper clay, what I always try to do, didn't know the back came off, maybe I opened it at both ends, is I put it in a plastic bag so it doesn't dry out. And I put it in the door of my refrigerator. We're staying home and having tamales. All right. My mom is coming up for the weekend, and then we will have our turkey dinner. Lovely. Yes, that's true. No, Shannon, this is, for me, this is such great memories for me and my kids. My adult children. I shouldn't be calling them kids. They're not kids anymore. For me and my children, my adult children. And, Cora's been there with us. It was a wonderful time. One time, I think once, right, Cora? It's a wonderfully beautiful restaurant. Look it up if you want online. It's called Keen's, Keen apostrophe S Steakhouse in New York City. They have on the floor that we go to, which is the downstairs, the main dining area. They have all pipes on the ceiling. It used to be a gentleman's pipe smoking club. And they hung all the pipes in a front showcase. They have like Teddy Roosevelt's pipe and stuff like that, and some other important people's pipes in a glass case. And it's a little, it's a little dark. It's got the old tiles on the floor. I just love it. They have options. Yes, they have turkey. They have their turkey, but I don't know if their stuffing has garlic. That was the thing. I wasn't sure if they had a lot of garlic in the food when you came with us. Okay. So now that this is done, It is. If you look at, it's a beautiful restaurant. It's an old restaurant. It was, and I didn't know this, but it's on 36th Street off of 6th Avenue. The theater district right now is on 42nd Street over there between, I guess, 7th and 8th. But the theater district used to be down by, which we call Macy's area. Macy's is on 34th Street. I know I'm talking to you like you know the city, but Macy's is the biggest department store. It's on 34th Street and 6th and Broadway cross there. And it's also the other end of it. It's a whole city block is on 7th. And between avenues, if you go from 6th to 7th Avenue, they're very, very long blocks. And so I didn't know the theater district used to be down by 34th Street. The theater district was always to me in 42nd Street in that area with the Broadway shows that everyone hears. So, oh, okay. So Sandra's learned how to make tamales from her neighbor. Lovely. I walked through there once. Ashley, you were in Macy's? It's like 8, 9 floors. It's wonderful. Okay, so flip your mold over and slowly, you can use your paintbrush if you have to, but I think this one's going to come out, I hope. And there it is. Okay. So now you have your mold, and used to work there. Yeah, so well, you used to work at Macy's. I worked all around streets by Macy's. I was the only member of the family that didn't work at Macy's, right? Dad worked, mom worked at Macy's. I've been using all sorts of glues, and with this one I found, because I just did this stuff, the Liquitex Matte Super Heavy Gel works better gluing these on to these little wood pieces than any of the glue that I've been using. So I'm just going to use my finger and put some gel around this. Now, okay, use my rag, clean off the gel off the fingers. Let's get some water on the fingers because I really don't like the paper clay either. This gel takes a while to dry. Aunt Mary also worked at Macy's, yes. You know, after a while, I don't, you get to a point where I really don't like the paper clay on my fingers anymore. I don't know why. It's just a thing. Okay. Pick it up as gently as you can. Now, you'll see that this is part of the mold. This was the outside of the mold. You can take a paintbrush and very gently, you're holding it very gently, and just get off that excess outside stuff. And if you don't get it off all at once now, don't worry about it. Once it dries, you can run your X-Acto knife over it, and that'll take care of it too. And I'll show you that in a second. So you take your napkin ring, and it's not going to go totally around. And I'm going to make the same mistake I did last time. If you want to cut, after you put the thin super glue on this thing, if you want to cut and trim, don't try to cut through a double thickness. So put something that's wide enough over the double thickness so you won't have to cut it. Okay. And then you just sort of push your mold on there, get it on, and let it dry. Okay. Now, give me a paintbrush. Okay. Does this have the glue on it? Yeah, this have that gluey stuff on it. Okay. I'm going to have to. You're doing this as gently as you can. Don't worry about the cracks. We're going to fix it. And you can also smooth out the sides very gently with your thumb. Now, the hole in the mold is right here. If you want to cut it out, which I have on the other one, that's why I'm telling you to not put a hole or someplace that you want to cut out on the double thickness, because it's really hard to, it was almost like I needed to use a saw to get through this stuff, because this thin CA glue really makes these things very tough. These little flimsy cardboard's very tough. You leave it to dry. Okay, now let me show you a crack, and then I'm going to leave that. You see this one? It cracked pretty much a nice big crack. If that bothers you, take a little of Aleene's what is this called? Super glue, not super glue, tacky glue. Put it in there, just a little bit. On some of the little cracks, you could just use this to fill it, or if it's something that big, put a little glue, then take a little piece of your paper clay, and once it's dry, I'm not sure how dry this is because again I made this earlier, put it in, get a smoother, if I can find one, yay, okay, get a smoother and just smooth it out. I put a little too much. You can dip your smoother in water. And you just took care. It's like fixing a hole in the wall. Okay. I also wanted to show you on this. This was done on the toilet paper roll. And if I don't know if you can see it, there's a little bit of the toilet paper roll seeing it. Heavy gel, I have golden, but I might try Liquitex. I like the Liquitex better than the golden. I don't know. I think I like it better. I know when I look for it now, I only look for the Liquitex one, but I don't think the golden is bad. And I'm going to nip around, and you have to mess with it. So this is, this isn't something that you're going to do the night before Thanksgiving. So plan it out, or the night before Christmas. And I know it's taking me a long time to do it, but I'm chatting. And once you get like a little assembly line, cut all your circles, glue, get them stiff with the glue, then make all of your molds, put them on. It would go pretty quickly. I mean, a couple of hours, I would say. But still, I wish I could fill the wrinkles on my face. Next time you come here, Cora, we'll use paper clay. Aw, you sweet thing. Whoa, that one went flying, and I don't have my glasses on. Okay, but you can tell that this stuff with that CA glue, you heard how you wouldn't have heard that click and flying off if that was just in its toilet paper form, toilet roll form. You also might have to sand down the edges a little bit, and you can use your sanding block. Me too, Cora. I've been trying to get June to give me a facelift. Everybody is worried about their wrinkles. Hey, I got wrinkles too. They're fine. They're badges of courage. My sister's in the wrong biz. Badges of courage, guys. Badges of courage. Lived a long time, went through a lot. Okay, so now I'm going to clean up all of this, because now we're going to gold leaf. let's put that in water because it's still gunky. Let's get this away. So again, these are your strips. The strips are 5 inches by a 1/2 inch. This is 5 inches. Then you'll figure it out to be 1 1/4 inch diameter. Draw a line here, draw a line underneath. I use fabric tack. If you want to use tacky glue, you'll just have to hold it longer. Once this is done, put it in your pliers and drip the StarBond thin. Did I get any on StarBond thin? Make sure you have acetone. So that's what we're up to now. You put your paper clay in your mold. You take it out. You use your Liquitex matte super heavy gel, and you put it all around, and you let it dry. They're going to take a day or two. Okay, making mashed potatoes, and everyone has an opinion. Teresa, it doesn't matter. If you're making them, you make them. Okay, hold on. I'm just looking at a few. My phone has been texting. Whoops. Why am I not getting that quick? I don't know why. All right, well, I'll look later. That's not a problem. Who's ever texting me? Okay. Well, I have no butt. How can we fix that? Well, you just take some of that. Cora, that's fine. I'll show that. Okay. So you remember this poor lonely soldier? Hi, Mary. How are you? This one that I put this, where is it? On all here. This adhesive size, they call it size, S-I-Z-E. Okay. I got stuff all over the place. I don't even think I'm going to be able to get up from here. I'm just going to, okay, let's leave that there. Let's put that over there. All righty, let's get a piece of gum. Let's relax for 2 seconds before I do that. Wonder why my phone is not showing me text messages. And okay, I'm just taking a break for a second, guys, because I've been chatting for Rory. Oh gosh, Rory is jumping into the shower. In case you don't know, there's been a lot of times where Rory and I would be talking in the morning when I was working. Let me know when I should come over for dinner with the thankful hats and napkin holders. Rory, I'm just telling the story. And I take baths. I take hot baths and I shower off afterwards. And whenever I'm usually if she would call, I would text her, she would be texting me because of the day ahead. Now that I'm retired, I still text her from the tub. I'd be sitting in the tub and be like, I'm in the tub. So she just texted me that she's taking a shower but still listening. I love it. Okay, Rory, take care. Good night. Thank you for coming in. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy, and we'll talk. I'll text. We'll talk. Okay. Let's get the leaf out. This is the last hurrah. It's going to take me at least a half an hour to clean up this desk. Okay. This is all I've been doing today has been making napkin rings. Okay, now Barbara, this is for you, sweetheart. I have, this has been a long time ago, I have gold leaf, not real, none of this is real, and silver leaf. Okay, I don't have that much silver. I've been doing this for a really long, you buy this at Michael's, and I'm sure Hobby Lobby has it too. It's not the real stuff. And this is why I thought that Happy Bird person Happy Bird Glitter Nest, that whatever. She's lovely, by the way. Listening to her, she's so calm. Love listening to her. It flakes off. So I was thinking that the container she had of flakes was the same thing, but then she was saying that the leaf is very expensive and the flakes aren't. I don't know. I haven't bought this in years. I used to use this on polymer clay. If you're going to use any of the leaf on polymer clay, what happens is this particular size doesn't seem to dry on polymer clay. I don't know why. I'm hoping it dries on paper clay. If not, then we're going to have to find something else to put it down. I think she used Mod Podge to put it down on hers. Like I said before, one of the Mod Podges. I don't know which one. It was a gloss one. Okay. Now this stuff is really, it flies away, it sticks to everything. It's going to look like a mess at first, but we'll work it out. I'm going to take a sheet, and they're very thin sheets. Sometimes they break before I even get them out. Yeah, see, it's ripping, but that's okay. And just lay it on the project. And then you're tapping. Now, okay, when I originally started with this, what they would tell you is when you're using gold, you should put like a red or a brown as your base coat. And when you're using silver, you should use black, because sometimes it cracks and you can see the base coat underneath it. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it away because if I breathe, if you're talking, sometimes this stuff would fly away. Oh, and polymer clay. I love the technique of putting this in polymer clay. If you're into making jewelry with polymer clay, and I'm not going to say it right, the lapis, Lazulli or something. This is beautiful in that blue, and it looks, and the lapis I have had gold flakes in it. And this is perfect to make it if you mix your like a cobalt blue and a little bit of transparent clay or translucent clay and some flakes and roll it around. It's really pretty when you take it out. It sort of looks like the real thing. And then what you do, and this is why I think it was the same thing, Barbara, because that's like a flake. She was using some big pieces as her flakes. I need a little bit more of a serious paintbrush here. Maybe this will work. Trying to get it on because I'm trying to get it wherever there's not the size or the glue, it'll just come flaking off. And I need a little bit more glue there. That's why I put 2 coats on, because it always seems to not go on certain areas. Okay. Now you can collect all of these and use these as the flakes. And you can also do the underside, the inside too. Yeah, I know, it goes everywhere. Well, it is a little stressful, but I've worked with this so long. Oh, and this is the one I try to cut out with I put this hole right on where the 2 pieces of the toilet roll net. That was, okay. Of course, I would do the back if I was really doing these for this. And I think I was talking about the background color because it comes through. And I can feel it already. This is not tacky where the gold leaf went on, like it is still with the polymer clay. You can, when you put this on, you can put it on as a sheet and a little thicker, and then you put it through your pasta machine, and the leaf, to make it thinner, the polymer clay, and the leaf cracks. It's absolutely gorgeous to do it that way for different techniques. And you can probably even put the polymer clay in circles by itself if you make it a little bit thick. Okay, and now what you do is you rub it off, trying to get off any of the loose flakes, and you collect them. And this can go in your jar of flakes, or you can make your own little jar of flakes. I would probably, if I had a plastic bag right here, I'd probably collect these and put these in a plastic bag. Yes, you do. Sandra, right? Isn't it? She was using big pieces. Yes, Barbara, she was. Came on in it. Okay, I caught. I don't even know, Joanne. I don't even know if Michael's or Hobby Lobby still sells this anymore, because I don't know. This sort of, it was all the rage at one point. Sandra, do they still sell it? Do you know? It was all the rage at one point, and then it seemed to die down with all of the gold paints and the waxes, and it seemed like this sort of went out of style. You know how some crafting materials go out of style? Yes, when you put it through the pasta machine, the crackle effect is beautiful. You think you saw it the last time you were there? Okay, great. Now, there's some parts that it didn't stick because even though I did 2 coats, there was nothing there over here, some areas. So what I would do, no worries, is I would take more of this and I would just paint it. And if I get it on something that was already foiled, not a problem. It'll just refoil over it, okay? So don't worry about this. Now this has a lot of deep, for leafing, deep areas in it, so it's hard to get it all in there. But oh, see, I also can do this. So this is important that you don't have to use a new sheet. Take some of your flakes up and see if there really is no glue in those areas. Just trying to get a little of the back while I'm here. This I can tell there's no glue because there's no gloss to it. This has a little bit of a gloss to it. They still carry it. Thank you, Sandra. So they still carry it. And I'm assuming that's Michael's or both. Michael's and Hobby Lobby. Now this part still seems a little tacky to me. So I'm going to put more leaf on it to get rid of the tack. Maybe that was a drip. Michael's. Okay. Now, you can leave these. This is a very bright gold. Again, just so that I go in some kind of order, I would put more leaf on. I would put more size, more glue on all these areas. Here, here, in here a little bit. And I'd wait for it to dry. I don't know, it takes a while, takes about 15 minutes if you put light coats. You want it, oh, Hobby Lobby, okay, so good, they are still selling it. You want it to be tacky, but you don't want it to be wet. And I just put more on it. And then you buff it. You take a soft brush and you buff it. And what this buffing does, I believe, is it takes all of the little pieces that might have not stuck, but they're still sticking up. and it makes it come off, so it's a more I guess shiny. Now there must have been a lot of glue in that crevice, so it's bunching up in there. So I take the harder brush. I usually use a little bit harder brush and just clean it off. Thank you for looking again, Sandra, in case I didn't say. So this is this. Now I'm not going to put more size on it. You ordered, Ashley, you ordered one of your dogs an elf costume? How cute. I want to see pictures. Uncle William, you look marvelous. Just wanted to let you know. Hey, Uncle William. And here is, I think, this Thornton medallion. This is a beautiful, especially if you cut the hole out here. Joanne, you could probably use this with just the flakes. Oh, Joanne's just has the flakes. I thought you meant Joanne because Joanne said she just had the flakes. Oh, you could probably do this with the flakes too. It might take more time. But as you can see, I got a bunch of flakes right here, right now. And if I put more size on this, I would use those flakes first. I wouldn't use another sheet. Okay, I would not use another sheet. Now let's look. Of course, this isn't done, but let's look how pretty this. Now, oh, another thing. Oh, see, when you breathe, they all fly around. If you breathe a little heavier than you should, let's just take these and move them over. Okay, so I can breathe in peace. Now this is all your choice on what you have and what you want it to look like. You could leave it like this, and then I would definitely put a gloss over this, not polyurethane, you know what I'm talking about, a Mod Podge gloss or some other kind of gloss. Yeah, there's no draft. It goes all over. Barbara was mentioning that when she used it, her hair went on and it flew all over the place. You can I would put a gloss over this just to protect it. The other thing is, though, what they were saying to do is to take, again, your umber, and I'm just using this wax. It dulls it. This stuff dulls the gold a little bit. Where's my red? Okay. This dulls the gold a little bit, but what you do is if you get it on here, oops, that was a lot, Jim. Just plop your brush in there. I'm not going to do it for the whole thing. You let it stay for a second. And, oh, you're welcome, Barbara. It's my pleasure. And you go like that. And now you have, it gives more of the definition to the creases. And if you put too much on and you don't like it, clean out your brush. Hey, Martha, happy Thanksgiving. And just clean up a little with your brush. You can do that too. And then wipe it off more. And there you go. Oh, you forgot I was on, Martha? I'm sorry. And then now you have, of course, I didn't have the sizing or the glue right on the pretty part, but that is a very elegant napkin ring. I really like that. Okay, now the mold is about $13, I think, from Amazon. I didn't go shopping around for it. This is the Thornton Medallion. There is a link down below. Um, the mold is about $13 and the paper clay is sort of the same. So you're going to be investing, if you don't have the mold and the paper clay, about 13 and 13 is 26, about 30, a little under $30. And then the cardboard you get from cereal boxes or toilet paper rolls. The glue to stiffen it is another $10. So we were up to 30, it's about 40. And then whatever you're going to use on top. So if you have, I mean, I think this is a very nice gift. It's going to cost you under 50, a little bit under 50, but you're going to have the glue, you're going to have the mold, and you're going to have the paper clay to do a lot more crafts with. And I've given you a link down below of, and I use this one on the wreath, the Thornton Medallion. I use this one on the wreath quite a bit. And I love this swirl. I just happen to love this swirl. Now, if you want, you can put it on your toilet paper, your roll, whatever you're using, whether it's the cereal box, cardboard, cardboard food box, or your toilet paper roll, whatever. You can put it so that this hole is covered. That also looks very pretty. Thank you, everyone. Oh, he didn't hear me? Aw, okay. Well, if you rewatch it again, and if you're towards the end, you can see that I said hello to him. That also looked very pretty with this knot cut out. But thank you. And that's it. So I've shown you all different ways. This, and here's the other one. It's drying. And again, you can, this is a craft that you can do as an assembly line. Like I said, one night, if you're making this as a present, say for somebody, one night you can do all your paper strips. The next night you can glue your paper strips and then glue it with the CA glue. The next night, or maybe 2 nights, you want to, because after a while molding this stuff can get, especially I think if you're going to make napkin rings, you should at least make 8, I think. So you're going to have to pull this out of the mold 8 times. So that might be 2 nights that you want to do that. Takes a day or 2 for it to dry. I always gesso mine. If, like I said, with gold, you could put a reddish brown, reddish black paint on it. If it's silver, you could use black. I just use black. It's here. It's on my desk. And so you can do it over a couple of different nights and you have a very pretty gift for someone. It's very unique. That's why I like, one of the things that I love about being able to craft is I can make very unique things for my home that you don't go out into a store and you can't buy it. Once these things, okay, Cora. All right. Happy Thanksgiving. Love you, my sister. Thanks for coming in, Cora. I'll talk to you soon. Once you make them, it's not that you can toss them around and throw them against the wall, but these things are pretty firm. They don't break that easy. So it'll last for a long time, especially if you use this, the Liquitex medium to glue it down. Basically it's paper. It's paper with paint on it and some other chemicals, like that's the thin CA glue. Again, the links are all below. The wreath that I made using this, and the wreath that I made has taken a tumble or 2, and thank goodness nothing is broke. But if it did break, you can just glue it back together. I would use, if I had to glue something back together and I'm using paper clay, I would go straight for the wood glue because paper is wood. right? So they make paper out of wood, basically. So I would just use a little tiny bit of wood glue and glue it back together and then fix it, and it's fine. So these are pretty stable. You can take how I would store these. Now this is a mess because I've been using it for all sorts of different things, but you take one of your tin foil rolls, because it's smaller. It's a smaller diameter than 1.25 inches, and you can line these all up on, I don't want to force it right now because there's all sorts of gunk on this thing, but if it was a clean one, you can put it on here, line them all up, and that's how you can store them. So they're all in one tube. You made 8 or 9 or 10, 8, or what is the table setting now? 6, 8, and 12. It used to be service for 8, but you line them all up and you put them away, and this is how much storage it needs. This. And that's about it. Okay, now you can also use one of these to help paint if you don't want to put your fingers in it. I've washed my hands and scrubbed them with the nail brush so many times. I can't tell you today, between all the different paints and glues. And this one that we made, the reason why you need a Teflon sheet, and if you don't have Teflon, I would try aluminum foil. It comes off, the Teflon sheet. So this is the one I put CA glue on earlier. And it's because I'm using, now I'll tell you, a toilet paper roll or a Bounty, a paper towel roll is better because it doesn't have any of this. Even if you sand it, there's still a coating on there. So I would definitely use a toilet paper roll where the cardboard is on both sides, or a paper towel roll. You just cut it, okay? You just cut it down, the long way, flatten it out, measure up, whatever this was. What was this? A 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch? I can't even remember. Hopefully I'm not getting hungry. It's a 1/2 inch dots. Cut them in strips so that it's 5 inch. The length of this has to be 5 inches long. And you can make, and then when you put that CA glue, because you don't have this coating from your cereal box or whatever food box you use, it will be absorbed more by the cardboard and become very, very hard. So this one's a little bit more flimsy than some of these were because there wasn't a lot of absorption of the CA glue here. Now, I know that the cost to do this, about $50, is a lot, but if you have, this is for free, or you use it. If you have any other molds, I showed you different ideas that you can do with different molds. So it's really up to you how much, if you have the mold and if you have the paper clay, or if you have something else, because I listed 2 things under the paper clay. I've never used them before. Maybe one thing, I'm not sure. 1 or 2 things under the paper clay. I've never used them before, but other people on YouTube channels have said that they work, so maybe you can use those. And if you have 2-part epoxy resin and you want to use it, it's just you got to constantly make sure that the thing is sticking to your napkin ring. Okay? So let me see, what time is it? 8:50. Look at that. Almost 2 hours. I made it. I'm gonna turn off this light because it's annoying. And I'm gonna switch the camera around. Hopefully I don't leave studio settings. Okay. There we go. And let's get this up. Good night, Ashley. Good night. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you all. Okay, so we got through that one without any kind of craziness. So I think they make nice gifts. I think you could also make something unique for your table. They do cost a little bit if you have to lay out the money, but once you get the molds, you can do all sorts of things with the molds. It's amazing what you can find to do with molds. I made a turkey, I don't know, the Thanksgiving turkey with another mold. It wasn't one of the two that I showed today. And you could do other things with your molds. Like I said, I did this just because I wanted to have one, because I love this. So I did this. And this cost me nothing. I mean, the original output for all the pieces, but this was all stuff stashed in my stuff that I have that I want to use and get rid of. So I was able to do this little thing. Let's see. And that's about it. So we named, it's Sergeant, right? Sergeant Cogs. We named him, which is lovely. We have napkin rings, which is lovely. And in 2 days, we have Thanksgiving. And hopefully all of you are going to have delicious meals, whether you're alone or with company. Doesn't matter whether you go out to eat or you're at home. Hopefully everybody. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Teresa. However you're going to spend your Thanksgiving, I hope you have a really lovely day. Watch the parade. I'm not going anywhere until we watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and Santa Claus comes down at noon, so I don't have to get to the railroad until sometime after 12 o'clock. So we always have to watch Santa, because when I was growing up, that was the start of the Christmas season. As we all know, the Christmas season started quite a bit already with all the ornaments and decorations, but that's okay. People are excited. And that's about it. That's all I got. Does anybody have any questions for me or anything else about what we did? I'm having some coffee because I need it after all that chatting. I also have, you should see what I got all around me. I also have some water with orange powder, vitamin C powder in here. I drink that through the day. Any questions, anybody? No? All right, well. I'm almost been on for 2 hours. It's 6 minutes short. I want to wish everybody a wonderful, happy, delicious Thanksgiving. I'm going into the city. By the time I come home, it'll be pretty late, but it's lovely in the city at night with all the lights. It's just, and the Empire State Building is usually in yellow, orange, and brown before Christmas. So, very grateful for you too, T. So thank you for everybody for coming in. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'll see you hopefully next Tuesday with something else. And love you all. Good night, guys.